In Python, we set up something similar, a branching condition, using the if statement. Now, the if statement looks like this. Predictably, it starts with the word if, and then it has a condition. Now, the condition does not have to be in parentheses, but I put it in parentheses for a couple of reasons. The parentheses are optional, but I use them. Number one thing is it's a great way to highlight and show what that condition is, what the thing is that we're trying to discover. The other reason is more practical and personal, and that is because I use, I don't know, 5 or 6 different programming languages on a regular basis, and most of them require the parentheses, and the ones that don't require it, it's optional. So to reduce the load on my brain of remembering which is which, I just put them in everything because why not? Now, you don't have to. Like I said, the parentheses are optional, but if does have to be followed by some condition that could be true or false. It can be anything that can be true or false, but it has to have something here, an expression. Okay? The simplest of all expressions is just the word true. It's always going to be true. Following the expression, we have a colon. Okay? And the colon is very important. The colon tells Python that you're about to define a code block or a number of lines of code that are going to be executed if that condition or that expression evaluates to true. So in this example, my code block is only one line. It could be 1,000 lines or 1,000,000 lines or just one. You must have at least one line in a code block beneath if. How do I know that this code belongs to if? It's because it's indented. I typically use a tab space, a single tab, to indent code in a code block. You can use spaces, but the danger of that is that if you have 2 lines and one is over 4 spaces and the next one is only over 3 spaces, your eye might not see it, but Python will, and Python will throw an error. Okay? So I use a tab. I think it's easier to see. It lines things up nicely. I think probably most people use a tab character. So you must have at least one indented line beneath every if statement. If you don't, you will get an error. When I'm done with this branch of code, the thing that gets executed only if this is true, then I can resume my regular coding with an unindented line. If this is not true, it will skip the indented part, this code block, and go straight to the next line. Let me show you what that looks like. Now, this will obviously print. I'm going to say we'll print a line before and a line after because I want to show you what we're doing here. Okay, so if I run this, what I get is it prints before, and then it says if true. True is always true, so this is going to be true. Then it prints this is true. And then it goes outside of the code block, unindented, so it's my main branch of code, and it prints after. Now, if I change this to false, you'll see it highlights line 3. It's not an error, it's a warning if it's that color. And it says, if I put my mouse over it, it says this code is unreachable. Why is it unreachable? Because there's no possible way if I run this code that this will ever be printed because I've hard coded that that is false right there. And you'll see if I run that, what it prints is it prints before. It says, nope, not true. False is never true. So we're not going to print this. And then we print after. Okay. So